I spent 3 days at MIT. The robot hype is worse than you think.
Last week, Google DeepMind released Gemini Robotics 2, a crazy new AI model that can control a humanoid robot's entire body. In this demo video, they make robots walk, crouch, tie knots, screw in light bulbs, and even team up with other robots to clean up a room. On top of that, Silicon Valley startup 1X also just released its own crazy new demo of its Neo robot playing Xbox and opening Funyuns. And that can only mean one thing: the dream of owning a robot slave is finally upon us. But there's a big problem, because as fate would have it, last week I spent a few days at MIT with actual robotics researchers, and I have some bad news. The people building and researching this stuff without the incentive to raise money think that a robot that can replace your maid is still 10 plus years away, and that's being hyper optimistic. In today's video, we'll break apart the humanoid robot hype and find out where the true frontier of robotics is as of today. It is August 11th, 2026, and you're watching The Code Report. 5 years ago, large language models wrote unusable garbage code, and diffusion models produced images like this. But today, after scaling up data and reinforcement learning to a ridiculously massive scale, these same technologies made source code nearly obsolete, to the point where Stack Overflow gets less than 1% of its former traffic, while video models can now generate content that's indistinguishable from reality.
What will computers be able to do in the future?
They'll probably do our homework.
And you would think that AI-powered
accurate
robots should be advancing at the same pace. Any day now, we should have robot mechanics changing our oil, robot welders building our Teslas, and robot soldiers in every war, making all blue-collar work obsolete. We may get there someday, but the reality right now is that robots are nowhere close to threatening these jobs. And the demos you see from Tesla and other Silicon Valley startups are designed to generate hype and pump valuations rather than show you the true frontier of robotics. To find the true frontier, let's start by taking a look at Gemini Robotics 2.
For the robot, dealing with challenges of the actual physical world is borderline impossible.
The Gemini Robotics 2 system is actually 3 models, with the most important one being a Vision Language Action Model, or VLA. It takes inputs like camera pixels in plain English, then outputs motor commands to the robot's hardware. But what's special about this one is that it can run the legs, torso, arms, and fingers of a full humanoid robot under a single learned policy. And in Google's demos, we can see it do all kinds of impressive stuff with Apptronic's Apollo 2 humanoid. But when it comes to humanoids, things like walking and doing backflips are essentially solved problems, while achieving the dexterity of a human hand is very much an unsolved problem.
Yes.
When you read the fine print of virtually any robot demo, you'll find that multi-finger dexterity success rates range anywhere from 0% to 90%. And that's a big problem, because nobody wants to buy a Rosie the Robot maid who drops your dishes 10% of the time.
Look, man, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the thing that has put humans ahead of everything else on planet Earth was thumbs and eyesight, right? And I guess the ability to communicate.
Sounds like you just deep throated a cow. Yeah, I deep throated your mom. That doesn't make sense.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. Thumbs and eyesight has been the main thing that has put us ahead. And a brain? Oh, that's right. We're the only species on motherfucking Earth that has a brain. I should have. Wow. I had no idea. I had no idea. That's news to fucking me. Monkeys have thumbs too. Yeah, man. I mean, look, what's that video of the monkey trying to use a hammer? It wasn't perfect, but I mean, it tried. It's getting close. Maybe a couple thousand years. Might be able to pull that shit off. Evolution doesn't work that fast. Add some zeros. No, I have faith in that orangutan. Fire pulled us ahead. Fire was big. I guess we're talking like we were fucking there. Fuck you guys. You're talking like you were there. You know what I mean? We don't. I mean, look, thumbs, eyesight, fire. I don't know. Somebody finally did.
What?
Who knows? There's a lot of contributing factors here that suddenly led to humanity becoming what it is today. All right, that's all we can say. I don't know what time frame it was or how it happened, but it happened.
What are you doing? Stop.
Stop.
This is the frontier right here, but realistically, these numbers would need to be well above 95% for a robot to make any kind of sense as a human replacement. But why is this still so hard in the age of artificial intelligence? Well, during my recent visit to MIT CSAIL, I was able to play with all kinds of humanoids and learn how researchers there are also trying to build general purpose solutions that make these robots actually work reliably. When these extremely smart researchers told me that Rosie the Robot is decades away from being a reality, it made me think of Moravec's paradox. The hard problems are easy, the easy problems are hard. Like AI can easily crush Magnus Carlsen at chess, but it still can't beat a 2-year-old when it comes to stacking blocks. And when you think about it, evolution has had 500 million years to optimize your sensory motor stack, while reasoning is just a new beta feature bolted on top. But from a technical standpoint, creating a policy for a robot is a much different problem than regurgitating some text out of an LLM. A large language model can spit out a set of discrete tokens, and it can take as much time as it needs to generate them, and nobody dies if it's not perfectly accurate. A robot, on the other hand, needs to emit continuous values like joint angles and torques, and stream them hundreds of times per second to dozens of different motors, all working together in unison. If your policy is off by just a little bit, gravity will punish you by making the robot eat the floor.
And also, when it comes to AI discerning anything visual, it sucks. It has to break everything down by frame. It also doesn't even see the world the way we see it.
It scales across a wide variety of environments. What?
But a deeper problem is data. Large language models got smart by ingesting the entire internet and every book ever written, but for robots, a data source like that just doesn't exist. And the way researchers are trying to get around this problem is to create simulations or synthetic data. Basically, the idea is you let a robot use a flight simulator, and after a while, it should be able to fly a real plane. But researchers still aren't exactly sure how they should even be training these robots.
Dude, I don't care fucking what price that airline is. I don't care if it's half the price of Spirit. Hell, I don't even know if Spirit's around anymore. Didn't they go out? Look, I don't care how cheap the prices are. If the pilot is a robot or an AI in any capacity, don't do it. And look, here's the thing. Everyone's going to be like, no, I'll never have an AI fly me, until one day you're going to pull up prices. You're going to be like, hey, what's the round trip price? Oh my God, $6. Let's do it. Let's try that shit. Don't do it, guys. The majority of the plane flight is AI. Look. No. It's not about autopilot and all the tools and shit like that to get you from point A to point B. It's the moment where the shit hits the fan, where you want a human on board guiding the plane. Why? Because that son of a bitch, hopefully, wants to live too. You see what I mean? We share something in common. You want to land for the sake of your own life. I want you to land us for my own life. You see what I mean? We're in the same boat together. Yeah, autopilot is more like cruise control. Exactly.
And currently the big debate is imitation learning versus reinforcement learning. With imitation learning, a human teleoperates the robot so the model can clone its behavior. It's a simple idea, but very difficult to scale up. The other idea is reinforcement learning, where you just let the robot try to do stuff and have it learn through trial and error by giving it a reward signal when it does something good. This is how unitary robots learn Kung Fu, but RL is still not good enough for safe, general purpose robots. Now, there's a bunch of companies and startups like 1X, Figure, and Tesla who have these crazy trust me bro demo videos, but you can't actually buy these robots, so nobody knows for sure if they're actually legit.
Dude, not only that, it reminds me so much of game trailers that are just cinematics, right? Have you noticed that when it comes to robotic, any robotic video, promo video, it's like little clips. Everything's little clips, or it's sped up, you know what I mean? Little clips where it doesn't actually show you raw footage of the thing at work. Well, didn't Tesla have something where they had the robots on stage, but then it turned out that robots were actually like manned? It was actually a person that was manning the robot. Trust me, bros, the bread and butter of AI and robots. Yeah. And look, I'm excited about this future. I would love nothing more than for a robot to make me a sandwich, you know? It just might take the robot 4 hours to make it, you know? That may be, and then what's the price tag associated with it?
If you're serious about owning your own robot slave today, your options are pretty limited. You could try to get your hands on the new Boston Dynamics Atlas, although Hyundai and Google already bought them all, so you'll have to be waitlisted. Or you could get the Chinese Unitree G1 with a $13,500 entry point. You've also got Agibot in China shipping at scale, but the rest of the robotics field is much smaller than the hype actually suggests. And we might even get GTA 6 before we get humanoid robots in the kitchen. And that means there's a huge opportunity for software developers to write the code that makes these robots actually work.
Yeah, so essentially the context of the video is that robots are decades out. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. You know what I mean? I guess it's probably a good thing that robots won't be everywhere. My speculation was that, and this is probably overly optimistic. I thought we would probably have robots everywhere in the next decade. You know, they won't be good. They'll be kind of good. You know what I mean? It'd probably be more enthusiasts. My issue with the robotics right now, especially this one that's being shown here. Which one was it? This one right here is being sold this year. I think it's $20,000. My problem with this robot is that they said that if the robot gets stuck, someone somewhere will be able to man your robot. So like someone will be sitting there in like a call center almost, and your robot, if he gets stuck in the dishwasher, they would be able to take control of it, see visually where the robot is, and then back it out. Essentially unstuck it, essentially, right? I'm stuck, step robots, Jesus. And that's a little bit of a concern because it's like someone can immediately see the inside of your home. You know what I'm coming from? Which is obviously a violation of privacy there. There was a deep dive on this. Oh, they're almost always controlled remotely. Yeah, and on the other side of things is like if they can remotely access the bot, right? If you have anything of value at your home, how long before someone hacks the robot and just takes your shit? You know, personally, I don't really have anything of value in my home. You know, I don't have a safe or anything like that because normally, you know, that's not that anyone would ever break into my home, but I don't want to dangle anything out there. But if you had one and you had something of tremendous value, like jewelry or something, after 3 divorces and a lifetime of absolutely crazy shit when it comes to women, I'd be down for one of these robotic AI wives in the future. Lol. Hey man, you know, maybe one day you'll be going to a restaurant and at one of the tables, you'll see a man and his robotic AI girlfriend and wife, and he might be having a great time. Think about the benefits here. Hold up, guys. Let's talk about this. He only has to order for one, right? The check is always cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I would think the conversation was probably pretty good. You know, that thing's going to be remembering everything. It may not matter as much to a guy, but to a woman for sure. That robot be recounting every little detail. And then, of course, like, what's the robot look like? I don't know. He'll never have to share his food. Yeah. Nah, we're gonna make you pay for 2 spots if you bring your clinker in. My thing on this, guys, like I see the little pitches and trailers, and you know, I mean, hell, guys, everything was supposed to be fully automated by this point, you know? And we're still way off on that. And a lot of that is just the legal side of things, right? And you see it in some cities. You've seen Waymo and others, right? It's moving in that direction. But y'all remember like 2018, 2019, there was like that big push. Oh, we're going to have automated vehicles, full self-driving, all that stuff. And it just takes longer than it actually is, you know? We were supposed to have flying cars 26 years ago. Yep. Yeah, this one right here is... My thing is, I think you're going to see a whole new sphere of reviewers that are going to be reviewing robots. It's going to become like the reviewing hardware, or like the channels that review iPhones. You know, there's going to be a new model of a robot come out every single year, and it's going to be people reviewing those robots, and who knows what the price tag is going to be, but we'll see what they get it down to. Great at doing chores, but it's terrible at hand jobs. Jesus. Things that are put into words and said into this stream. Good God. They're working on that. They are working on that. The other side of things is, I think what would be easier than an actual humanoid robot, you may just get like an arm. Like, you see how this arm? This thing may just sit on your kitchen counter, and all it does is make food. You know what I mean? All it does is cook stuff. There may be something that carries stuff from the fridge back and forth, but that's literally all it does. It's like maybe, and it probably has like maybe like a track that goes back and forth. I mean, that may be the easier thing than trying to like fine tune walking, you know, just completely work on just this on a stable surface. Is it weird to say that I would be mean to it? Like, cut these veggies, bitch. I mean, yeah, that's kind of rude. Well, I don't think I would say that. I think I would still be kind of nice to it. I think we would all be like that. Well, it seems like a hostile environment. What would like me and the family comes in? We're like, hey, motherfucker, make dinner. I want stew tonight. You fuck up, I take a finger. You be mean, but it may cost you in the up and coming robot revolution. That's a robot bro is there to do a task. Yeah, but who the fuck talks shit to their goddamn drill or any of their, you know what I mean? You look at your lawnmower and you're like, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. Mow my grass, bitch. Come on, man. What do you talk shit to your Roomba? You just walking behind your Roomba, be like, you suck dick at this. Look at that shit you just missed right there. It just takes too much energy. Do I get a refund if it turns me on? What?
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.